So, for activity 2, what you're going to need is a mini whiteboard or a piece of paper or a book that you've been writing all of your remote learning down on. It's really up to you. And you'll also need a pen and a pencil, and you will need a space outside. So, if you're at home, just go out either onto your veranda or your balcony. If you've got a backyard, go out into your backyard. If you're at school, you obviously can go out into the playground. On your piece of paper or your whiteboard, you can choose to draw the table that I've got on this page. So, a table with about 5 columns. You might put a 6th column with other in it, and then some space where you're going to write adjectives. So, you're going to write the adjectives. You're going to write adjectives for what you see, feel, hear, smell, and touch. So the first thing that you're going to do is go outside into your backyard or school playground. I want you to walk around for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And as you're walking around, I want you to think about how you might describe what you see. So in terms of adjectives, so they're describing words. So if you look up and it's daytime, you might see a blue sky. Try to really challenge yourself and think of tier 2 words that you see. So if you see leaves, they might be crunching leaves. If you see grass, it might be deep green. If you see houses, how might you describe the houses? I also want you to think about what you feel. So these are your emotions. How is being outside, looking around you, hearing the sounds, smelling all the smells, touching everything around you, how is that making you feel? Think about some adjectives that can describe that. And do the same for what you hear, what you smell, and what you touch. So making sure that you describe all those different senses as describing words, so adjectives. What I want you to do after that is take a photo of your recording and upload it to Seesaw. I am going to give you a bit of an idea of what I mean, a different example. This afternoon I went out, and in the afternoons after I get home from work, I take my dog for a walk and I try and go into my own neighbourhood. So as I was walking around, I had in mind adjectives. So what I could see in front of me, now it was about 5 o'clock or 5:30, so the sun was setting. And it was quite a pretty sunset tonight. So what I'm going to write down is all of the different colours that I saw when the sun was setting. So I might describe it as there was like pastel. They were like pastel colours tonight. So that really soft orange, purple, red, and yellow. This will give my reader, when I'm writing my diary entry, if I say pastel, it already tells them that it's a soft colour. Sometimes you can get that really deep, rich reds in the sunset, but tonight it was quite light and pastel-y. I also could see I've got a lot of cockatoos around me, and at that time of night, they are not quiet. They are definitely loud. So I'm going to write down loud cockatoos. Oh, I've spelled that wrong. And I might even call them squawking. Because they were definitely very loud. And they've got that really kind of annoying squawk to them. So I could definitely keep going, but for the purpose of this little demonstration, I'm going to keep going. When I'm walking my dog, I do it to kind of de-stress from the day. So it always makes me feel really calm and at peace, and really grateful when I'm walking. I feel so lucky that I get to walk outside in the fresh air, and it's a choice of mine. What I was hearing is the busy traffic, because at that time of night, people are leaving work and traveling home, so the traffic is quite busy. I could also hear the noisy, there were, what's it called? I've had a mind blank now. There were roadworks happening, even though it's at nighttime. They're fixing the road that I travel on just outside my house. So there was very noisy roadworks going on. That's something also I could see, is bright lights. I could smell, now I walk near a lake, so I could smell the salt water. And I could also smell, on this particular night, it was kind of like, it was a pretty yuck sewage water smell. So I'm going to call it like pungent, which is kind of, or maybe like putrid. That's kind of what came to mind, because it wasn't very pleasant, and I tried to get past that area as quickly as possible. And then when I wasn't actually touching things, but if we talk about touch, if I was to bend down, what would I touch on my hands? So I walked on grass, so I could feel the moist grass, because at that night it's getting quite cold and the dew is starting to come. I could feel the gravel, and the gravel is quite rough on my feet, and it would be on my hands as well. Because the roadworks is happening, the smooth tar, of the road that they're putting in as well. So I've tried to include what it is, so the object, but I've also tried to put in an adjective. So how would I describe it? So instead of just writing cockatoos, how am I describing the cockatoos? Instead of just writing grass, how might you describe the grass? And I've tried to include some tier 2 words in there. If I had more time, I'd probably go back and definitely create more in my table. So have a go and see what you come up with. When you go back inside, you can definitely add to your table. This is just kind of like another way of brainstorming. But remember that you are describing what you see, hear, feel, smell, and touch. Have fun.